let's just talk. Take two. How are we feeling?
I won't say excited. Because, I mean, which is kind of funny because, the first one is usually, there's excitement and then later it just goes down. But I guess we're going to still call this one the first one.
Literally.
Yeah,
Should we tell them the story?
I guess.
Let's tell them the story. Okay, so guys, this is our first podcast that we're ever doing, and we got the equipment that we wanted to get, but we didn't get the manual.
Exactly.
We got the manual, but we didn't know how to use the equipment.
I like how you put it. I love how you put it, actually. I mean, we're still learning, Obviously, we're going to make mistakes, but we're not going to stop.
We're going to keep it pushing.
We're going to keep it pushing.
Because we filmed a 40-minute plus episode.
Yeah.
Turns out that we don't know how to sort it out. So we're doing this again. Let's just talk episode 1. Dot two dash two.
That's the.
What do it's called? So.
You want to start? Introduce yourself.
Okay. So my name is Tommy, but my full name is Tommy Lobasho. They call me Tommy. Anything, I don't know. Just call me Tommy.
And my name is Jedediah, but everyone calls me Jed.
I feel like I'm about to pull that JD thing again.
No.
Let's play.
Let's just leave it as Jed.
So who are we, and what gave us the right to start a podcast?
That's a good question. Let's just say we are two people who are not media trained. So I don't want to come here and start looking for who is politically right, because we are not media trained, guys. We just want to talk, and we think, And
I just like to add that the opinions expressed here are our own opinions, and please don't take it as gospel, or don't drag me, I'll not answer you, or anything like that. So whatever we say is just our opinions. The name of the podcast is Let's Just Talk, because we're here to just
talk. Really? That's it. That's about it.
I think that's a good intro. Okay, so for this first episode, I think that we're just going to go in the direction of introducing ourselves properly, or reintroducing ourselves to the listeners, right? Because I'm sure a lot of our friends will be listening to this, but we might get some people that are not our friends.
Yeah.
Or we were friends before. So we want to sort of let you understand who we are from the beginning, from the get-go. So who is Jed and who is...
So you will not hear one take and you're not like, oh, this boy is coming from a privileged background. And
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Exactly.
So I like to say, let's go back to our earliest childhood days. So just think of it like, when you think back to your childhood, what are some things that just come to your head and jump out like straight up?
I think one thing that really stands out to me is the fact that I used to be very quiet. I used to be very reserved. I think I can say I used to be an introvert. And, it's just funny how I've completely changed since then.
Completely changed. He's neither quiet nor an introvert right now. Completely turned around.
Some of my dad's friends back then, they used to, always tell my dad, yeah, this one is definitely going to become a pastor. And, we never know.
Yeah, I know.
We never know. So, I used to be really quiet. I used to be, very reserved. But now I've changed. I'm more outgoing. Now I feel like I have too many friends, even. Yeah. Which, some people think is a bad thing, but I kind of see it as like, forming community.
Yes.
Right, that's how I see it.
And I love how you put it, because most of the time friendships are kind of like safe havens where we can just go to. Let's say when we have problems, when we don't have problems, like that there's always people that you can rely on or fall onto. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, like you have different friends for different pockets of life. So let's say you have your friends that you play games with, you have your friends that you talk about, football with.
Exactly.
The real authentic football with your leg, with your leg. not egg ball that they're playing here, but. I digress. But you have different friends that you can talk to about different things. So I like how you put that. Forming friendships is community, basically.
Yeah, it is. And one thing about me, I would always like to sort of brag about, the kind of people that I have around me. I always say, okay, I know this person. I know this person. And it's just, there's this satisfaction that I get when, someone is looking for something, and I'm like, oh, I know a person.
That
I know somebody.
yeah.
There's
I know
just
a guy.
I know a guy. Like another person to be like, oh, I know a guy. You know,
And,
so
on the flip side, it's also good to be that guy.
to be that guy,
To be that guy that somebody knows. Does that make sense?
it does.
It's like,
it does.
I know a
Absolutely.
guy, and then that guy's told me. And
How about you? Like, what was your childhood like? What was it?
I would say that the earliest, what can I use to describe it? I would say that it was fun. My childhood was fun. I would say that I have a lot of cousins, so, and not just cousins that call uncle this, uncle that, auntie this, auntie that. I have cousins that are my age, so I
That's
feel like
nice.
that time it was just easier. Like I just had friends from the get go. They were more like my friends, so I feel like I kind of had like a head start to learning how to communicate in a friendship. Just because of how my how close me and my cousins were, always trying to do sleepovers and all of that. So it was fun. It was really fun.
And that's really nice because I mean, me personally, my dad is like the last child of his father, and he married 5 wives. Right? Yeah. So so you can imagine how my cousins and how old they are. So like the distance is insane. Like some of my cousins, I call them Uncle this, Uncle that, brother. Yeah, so.
And I asked this question in the last podcast, but I know that we're not going to post that episode again. So, like, what I asked was, how do you think that affected your dad? Like, his dad having 5 wives. Like, do you think that, when you have a lot of wives, you also have a lot of children? Do you think that your dad got the appropriate amount of attention that you might lack when you come from a polygamous home? What do you think?
No, I think my dad got enough attention, I would say, because he has always had stories about about my granddad, meaning he was always with him, right? And my grandfather died when my dad was 11, so he had just short period to be with him, and yet he had like a lot of stories. And I think one way that has affected my dad is my dad loves children a lot. He's the one to he has been telling us recently that he can't wait to spoil like his grandkids.
Jed is coming out with more soon. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show people.
False news.
Continue.
But I think that's one way it has affected him. I don't think. I mean, I'm grateful to God that he found Jesus early in his life. Which didn't really,
Speaking of Jesus, let's pause there for a moment. I forgot to give context that the person that you're seeing on this camera or listening to, I forgot that a huge part of my life is religion and Christianity. So sometimes the way I answer might be pastoring.
Just so you know.
Just a little disclaimer for the people that are hit with the word unexpectedly. So you know where it's coming from. It's not from me. Straight from the Holy Spirit. Sorry, continue.
So that's pretty much it. Like, he loves kids. He loves to be around kids.
Yeah.
There was one time I was thinking of adults, and my mom was like,
Adulting what you want.
my mom was like, Mr. Man,
Relax.
I don't know about that.
Relax.
Maybe not yet, but he loves kids, and he loves people being around him. So that's what I would say.
So your dad came from a polygamous home. How do you think the atmosphere would be if your dad tries to say that I want to bring a second wife home?
Chaotic. I mean, first of all, my mom is very chill, right? So she'll probably just report him to like pastors, and I think that's where she can go to, because she's not going to challenge him and stuff. She's too cool for that. But I don't think that's something my dad will ever do. Yeah. By God's grace.
Because things they change you. Like I'll say that our stories are very similar. It's the fact that my dad also came from a polygamous home. I don't know the amount of wives he had, boy. It was plentiful.
Enough.
He had enough, more than enough wives. So I would say that it kind of had ripple effects on my dad in the way that he perceived. If you're listening to this podcast, I just heard that. You want to father yourself now. But yeah, I think that it did have some ripple effects on him, just in the way that he approached relationships and with regards to just how he responds to things. It doesn't mean that I blame him for anything that he may or may not have done, allegedly. But it's just to see that these things have effects, right? And as we're getting into my story, we would see some parts that needed to be healed from, or I needed to be healed from. So I think that's a good like introduction.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
background, family. So now let's move from early childhood to, let's say, like mid.
Childhood.
Yeah, like mid. So you go. This is new jet going into secondary school.
Yeah.
Learning, trying to understand the world.
I think that was where it was in secondary school that I kind of changed from being, this quiet boy. I think
Secondary school, if not, it refines you.
it does.
You.
It does.
Especially Nigerian secondary school.
It does. And I went to a boarding school, so I
Yeah.
think the amount of people there, and it was just, I don't want to use the word overstimulating, but it was too much for me. And at some point, I started I started becoming more outgoing. I started making more friends, and everybody saw me as the chill, cool guy too.
So cool for school,
too,
too cool for
so I kind of enjoyed secondary school, to be honest. I that was where I started, making a lot of friends and meeting more people. And
But when did you notice the shift? Like, was it like an appetite that I need more friends, or you think it just happened naturally? Like,
I think definitely happened naturally, because I think because of the kind of personality that I had, it's more. It was. I wasn't judging anybody. I wasn't. People always want to, like, okay, this person is cool. He's
exactly.
he's kind.
I know when you're the type of person, and this is. I would say this goes back to Christianity as well, because it's like, when you're just a kind and compassionate person, that people just want to be around you. There's some people that are always fighting. There's like
exactly, like
relax, no be every time, not every time.
And that really, I think my personality kind of attracted a lot of people to me, and I kind of just accepted it for what it was.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for it. Honestly, I'm grateful. Kind of. I was in secondary school. Like, wait, first of all, did you go to boarding?
Okay. I think I said it in the last.
Oh yeah.
Okay, don't worry, we'll get there. But I kind of did half and half. So when it came to the difficult times, why? I couldn't be at home and be eating again. Like, you have to lock in, come to school.
For sure.
That's if I even locked myself. I was in boarding in GS3 and SS3.
SS3.
Then, how was my secondary school experience like? I would say that year 7 was very. Oh, sorry. Oh, what's that again? GS1. GS1.
That's funny, because like in my school we used to call it basic 7, but let's forget it.
Yes. But GS1 was more like, I think it was just more. When you're just like a side character. I feel like I was just one of the side characters
in everybody's story.
In everybody's story, like I was never a troublemaker, and I feel like you can even see that I've never been a troublemaker. The worst thing I'll do is did you hear what that guy said? You know what that guy said? Can you take that? That kind of person that's always did you hear that? But I think. That's perfect side character act.
That's perfect. Guest appearance in everybody.
Guest appearance.
That's what it is.
I used to make cameos. I used to make cameos. Stand shows.
Everybody has stories about Toby here and there.
Exactly. I used to make cameos in people's stories, but I was never really like a main standout character. Mostly because I was minding my own business. And that time, like, I never opened to babes now. Like, and I was never looking at women. I was not doing anything. So. The only thing that I used to focus on was ball, and after ball, games. Like, those are the only two things on my head.
You've been playing ball since like. How come you're not good?
Stop playing. But yeah, I've been playing ball for time, and that time when you're early on in secondary school now, when you cut seniors and they get angry at you.
Did that love for like, did it start from high school or was like from home? Because I know you're like the first son, so like there was.
I used to play ball with my sister actually. I would be begging her, please.
Are you serious?
Please.
Why are you stressing this woman now?
She no go flicking. But yeah, I just loved it from time. I remember back when I was like, I think 6, 7. I used to practice with like throw pillows because
throw pillows.
It was me and my uncle. We used to be trying, rainbow flicks and all those other skills. So my love for ball has been from Hi. So yeah, that was basically me in year 7. Side character cameos, no, just shy,
Not too
nothing,
much.
not too much. Perfect, not too much, not too much at all. So now let's go from year 7. We're going into the more techie years. So let's go to year 9, just 3, SS1. Let's see.
I feel like that was the year. That's the time that really defines your character. Well, it plays a huge part. I would say.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, it does play because like now you're becoming more conscious about your environment,
about your body,
about your body,
different
about
things.
what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, I would say it was a blow. It was a blur because everything just happened fast.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that kind of affected me was, people thought I was handsome. Right?
What did you think? Just kidding. A good looking guy. Yeah.
And, that comes with a lot of attention.
Okay, we're getting into the spicy content, guys. The spicy content.
It got me a lot of attention that I didn't think I needed at that point. Yeah. So, I mean, I wasn't doing too much, like, because I was really shy. So, like, I wasn't doing anything with the attention, but, like, I just knew, there was some sort of attention and, people were looking at me like,
was it female attention or male attention? Because
it's funny because it's both, though. That's story for another day, but
interesting.
That's story for another day. But I think I didn't need that, sort of attention at that age.
Point.
And it kind of affected me a little bit, but I don't say too much about that. But
don't worry, we'll get there. That you don't say, you say it. I would say that for me, just 3 years as one was a time of comparison. I think that's when I became more conscious, like you said, about my environment, about my body, about different things. I was like, why is everybody going taller? Why is everybody going taller? Like, that time when the first few guys now when their voice cracks, right? And you as if something like Mickey Mouse. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Tough times never last. Now I sound like a macho man. But yeah, like I feel like it was a time of comparison and a time of like just looking around. I would say like why am I not like this person? I think that was basically what it became, right? And like you said, is a time of, I would say that pre-refinement, if that makes any sense. Like then I was like, oh, do I want to be someone that's self-conscious or do I want to be someone that's confident? Like when I started to make those little choices, and I think that because I already had confidence in ball and academics and things like that, so it just started adding on. And obviously, like you said, like attention they come small now. Like attention they come small. So it was like okay.
So you're a genius in school.
I would not see. My school was very very competitive, and I was very nonchalant with academics, but like I just knew things. Don't mean to brag, but I just knew things, and I think I wouldn't say genius because I was still never the one like winning the awards because I didn't have the discipline to
grind
to grind.
And
yes,
lock in.
I didn't have that lock in and grind like I have now.
Yeah.
Right, back then it was more like day before. Just cool. What's that guy even say?
I mean, honestly, like I feel you on that because I wouldn't say. I mean, I wasn't the best student.
Yeah,
I was a little above average.
Okay.
And let my father not hear this one. I didn't. At that point, the urge to like, to be the first position, it wasn't really my thing. It wasn't really my thing. I mean,
literally.
Now I won't say it's my thing now, but like I see the importance of being skilled and having like knowledge. Like there's so much importance in it.
For me, the most important thing is to stand out.
Stand out, yeah. Absolutely.
I refuse to ever like be comfortable
being average.
Exactly. Mediocrity be gone. It's my ick. It makes me I refuse to not be seen. I think that another thing because I think that mediocrity lets you blend in well.
And at that point when I was in high school and I was just I was okay being average. Like I was just like, let me just do my thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to be struggling, and I was just looking where I was at.
Yeah.
And during WAEC and NECO times, a lot of my peers, they were like really grinding it out because most of them wanted to go to like federal schools and stuff.
Yeah.
But me, I knew I was going to Babcock. I knew I was going to Babcock, so I was like, well, honestly, I thank God for privilege, but that, I was young. Let's just say I was young.
To that Babcock, I would say that I would one up you here. I thought I was going abroad. I was promised abroad at that point. Wow. So, man. So a lot of times, I will study, but only enough to get into schools abroad, right? Like my transcript was good. So what is all this? Why? What was all this echo? Like it wasn't on my mind because I was promised abroad. So when abroad didn't come, it was a reality shock, and they threw me in PAU.
Really good school, though.
It's a good school. I shout out to my parents. Regardless, shout out to my parents. But PAU no be Yale. PAU no be Yale. PAU no be Yale.
No, it's close now. It's just that one is in Nigeria.
So iPhone and Techno be the same thing. It's just that one is in Nigeria now. But that I would say that was year 9. That was mid. So now senior boys. Our final years, SS1, SS2, SS3, those years that I would say that your character is fully formed in this stage.
Yeah.
If I ask people, who was Jedediah Akinde, the senior? Who would they say he was?
Throughout my whole high school, secondary school, I was just very cool. I don't think. I mean, everybody would, kind of say the same thing, but he's a alright guy, decent guy.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, cool guy. When I was in SS2, I used to hang out a lot with my seniors. Because, they were fun.
I had I have the SS2 boys, SS3 boys beef that is usually...
Oh, definitely. But I think me, I was always in the middle. Because, I had friends, I mean, SS2, I had friends, I had friends that were in SS3 as well, like, really good friends that were in SS3 So, my whole secondary school was just, it was just me being me, and I was shy. For someone that had like a lot of friends, I was pretty shy. I was pretty shy, and I still am kind of shy, but then it was bad. I remember I had this. There was this girl that I used to like then, SS3, and we barely talked because I was shy and she was shy. It's like it was a problem. Yeah. It was a problem. But when we get to keyboard warrior.
I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to see you. And then when I see you, I can't wait to go back.
Bro, I'll pass like this, you pass like this. I won't look at that. It was bad. It was bad.
God, keyboard warriors.
It was bad. But I think I've throughout my secondary school I've just always been really cool. Fun to be around, just enjoying myself really. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I would say that for me, SS1, SS2, SS3, that was when I would say my character already been formed.
So if we ask, somebody in your
no,
school,
the number will not go through. Okay, I would say that back then, like I said, from other people's stories. Yeah. That's when I got a lot of bad character, because then, I had a couple of girlfriends, and no, I can explain. Hear me out. The thing is that when you're just introduced to something, right? You just want to do it all, and at that point, I think that was my top priority, like to get the attention of as many women as possible, and I'm fresh now. But obviously, ghetto character, whatever it is, I was that person, having multiple girlfriends and things like that, and
in SS3,
like it, and I would say that it's something that I really had to take a step back to analyze and say that, wow, there are two choices here. Yeah. It's either you keep doing this or you change. So I kept doing it. So it was not that point. So you know the way the Holy Spirit refines you small. It's not all at once. So I kept doing it, and it led into a
First of all, did you ever get caught?
it led into a cataclysmic event, I would say. Of
You need a story time for this.
so
You need a story time.
quick story time, guys. So it was back in secondary school where I had a couple of girlfriends, and then one day,
Just one day.
ask me what happened.
What happened?
I got added to a group chat, and on that group chat, I see my girlfriend.
You mean girlfriends?
And then I see my girlfriend in another school. And I see another one of my girlfriends. And I'm like, okay. It's time to repent.
Wait, first of all, were they all in the same school?
No, two.
Two were in the same school?
Yes.
Like, same year or like...
The details are foggy. I can't really remember.
Okay.
But I think it was more of like two in the same school. Then there was one person outside of the school. So it was just like. And that time I didn't. Let me explain. That time I don't think I knew the value of what a relationship was.
Yeah.
So it was easier to play around or fool around because it was like, oh, I'm just having fun.
Yeah.
But then when you see in full I don't know what the word is, in full context, like the effects of what this thing has on someone that really likes you or someone that is just like, wow, like, nah, I don't want to keep doing this. And after a whole lot of apologies and a whole lot of I would say refinding myself or understanding what it means to be a man, because I think at that point it's like, this guy's a bad guy. This
I think another thing that encourages that behavior is, all these other guys in your set. They're calling you bad
guy. You said you're gonna feel yourself now. You're gonna feel yourself.
They were the problems too, So
yeah, so the problem I feel like it started from the building up. So what do you see your seniors do, you'd want to emulate in your own story, and it's like, oh, no one to kind of tell you that, oh, this thing is bad. So you just have to, they say experience is the best teacher. So after conversations upon conversations upon conversations, and I'm sorry. Something was changing now.
Did don't take you back, or
no? The thing, we're still friends. We're still friends after that. But like, it was after like after a rough ride. I would say after a rough ride. But more on that later. That's just my 11, my year 10, 11, and 12. Just 1, just 2, and just 3. So I would say that's the first inflection points, I would say, because I had to take a step back and reanalyze. It doesn't mean that I changed completely at that moment. Did I? No, I didn't. But it was a good, like, wow, these are not puppets. These are people that with feelings and all. So that was a good start to the redemption arc that you see in the handsome young man that is talking to you today. Miracle, no, they tired Jesus.
It doesn't.
Yeah. So, the next question that I would, just like us to probe and talk about is like, how was it for you, like, growing up in your household, like your specific home? Like, would you say, what values would you say your parents tried to instill in you, things like that? How was it for you growing up?
My parents are very reserved, in the sense that they don't do parties, they don't do all this, unnecessary going out. So like, for the most part of my childhood, I was always indoors, and the only opportunity that I'd have to play with my friends, when I'm in school. Right? So like, I was always indoors, and other people, they'll come and be asking my friends, like, how do you guys do it? We are being threatened. You come out.
If you come out, I'll end your life.
But I don't know how I feel about it now. But I mean, I guess everything that they did was it was in our best interest, right? Trying to protect us from.
And another thing we were talking about, that like, how your parents tried to really guard you, and now you can see the results of that. That damn, these people were right.
They were right all along. I hate to admit it, man. I hate to admit it.
I'm telling you.
I hate to admit
especially the biggest thing that that came out is like not being like frivolous with spending.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what I would say? A perfect mix of the both. Because my parents, they were not the most prudent of people, of spenders. Like when they want to have a good time, they want to have a good time. Like
Yeah.
they know when to, I would say, sow, and they know when to reap,
reap.
like of their harvest. But you know, sometimes I want PS4. No.
Yeah.
I want this. No. I want to do this. No.
I never even got a PS4 or like a game console or that. My dad was like, yeah, all these things are not important,
The
Mr.
only PS
Man.
I got was in a letter.
I got Nintendos and Game Boy,
Yeah,
but like
yeah,
that was
yeah,
from my
yeah. I had a
auntie
PS1.
herself from
Yeah.
Paris. But I think having parents that are I don't want to use for lack of this thing wise spenders.
I hear what you're thinking, but I understand what you're saying. Why
Yeah.
spend that?
I think it's very important because like obviously it comes like you gain from it, you learn from it because like you experienced it, you've seen how it really has helped the family in one way or the other. My dad would rather give the money out than just spend, like just
Yeah.
go out and just splurge.
Spend, yeah.
Yeah, he'd rather give the money out to somebody that really needs it.
Really
And that's
needs
one thing I learned from him, giving. Oh my god, my dad's a giver. And there was one time he asked me to go bring his checkbook from, that was when checkbook was still
Yeah,
a
it was
thing.
still, yeah.
And I enter his car, picked the checkbook, and then I was looking at the history, like
This
But
money
this
never
one
reached
said,
my side.
this one said there's no money now. I want to buy PS. This one said there's no money. And yeah, he's sending all this money to people.
I'll
But
seize that check. You're not serious. I'll seize that checkbook.
but I mean, over time I got to understand, the importance of giving and just being wise with spending. Because where I am today, when people ask me, "Oh, what does your father do?" I can't even tell you, but he has been wise with his spendings. Honestly,
Yeah.
he has done a couple of investments here and there, and then he has just been very, very wise.
Bringing
with
it a
spending.
little bit back to Christianity again, is like when you sow, right? No, okay, let's put Christianity aside first. Like, the concept of relationship equity, right?
Yeah.
When you sow in somebody's life, I think that one of the best currencies is, having good relationships with people.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's people that open doors for you, kind of. Right?
Absolutely.
So it's like when you're looking for a job. Oh, I know one guy that was faithful to me that time that can help, in this season. So it's not as if you're giving them just to get something back, but it does help to like.
It does.
Sowing.
It does,
Concept of
absolutely. And one thing I wouldn't say, my dad is like one of the most resourceful persons that I know.
Wow.
Like, when he tells me, like, immediately I got out of uni,
Yeah.
I, plans to travel and all that. But then, before I even traveled, I already had a job with Glow.
Oh,
That was, supposed to start.
You had a job with Glow before the Glow. Everywhere you
And this was just from, I know this person, I've helped this person in the past, and, not necessarily like they owe me one, but then they know that.
They remember.
Exactly.
They remember.
He's not going to hold it against them that, I did this for you, you have to do this for me.
Yeah.
Something is just based off, this person has something, and just genuinely helping them that, okay, let me help you out with this. I see you have this goal. You're trying to, make this happen. Not out of you're not going to owe me
it's
one.
like,
And
yeah.
so I think a lot of he has, gotten a lot of relationships through just helping people
out, yeah.
and just being there for people. I think that's one thing subconsciously that I learned from him.
From him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people remember. And
People do like to remember.
Do you know what they remember the most? When you've not been faithful to them. People can keep a grudge.
Brother boy says, if you do 99 days ago, that one.
I'm telling you.
Man.
And I feel like people kind of cherry pick what they want to remember, what they want to hear.
Yeah.
So that one negative thing can basically undo all the good that you've been doing.
Which
Right.
I've had like a couple of conversations about that with people that human beings will. I don't know. It's just it takes intentionality to actually see that. Okay, I mean this person has been good to me in the past. I'm not going to let this one just.
I'm telling you.
I'm not going to hold it against this person just because of this one.
And tying
experience.
this into like relationships, like boyfriend and girlfriend relationships, like we are more selfish than we think we are, right? It's like
You think? I'm not selfish.
we're more selfish than we think we are. Like, in the point I'm trying to make is that if, let's say, your significant other has been doing something good for, it's just that one bad thing that they would do. That hold on to and catch it and like keep it in your hand. And I feel like it's a lot more freeing when you can just see things from a glass half full perspective, right?
Yeah.
From an optimistic perspective, right? Because what you speak becomes, right?
Absolutely. And I was even going to mention, one thing that I used to not be angry at my parents, but then just not understand a couple of things that they do. As I've grown, I've just realized that at the end of the day, this person, they mean well for me.
Yeah.
So like I've kind of always had that at the back of my mind that if somebody close to me does something hurtful, not necessarily hurtful, but like it's just something that I would like, why'd you do that? At the end of the day, I just put it at the back of my mind. This person actually means well, so like just so that I don't hold that grudge of
Yeah, we digress. So back to the now and the today. Who would you say that you are here and now? Like, how would you describe yourself?
I want you to go first.
I
want you to go first.
How would I describe myself here and now? I would say that it has been a complete 360 from how I was before.
Mm-hmm.
Like the person that was, shy, the person that was just a side character. I very much have main character energy now. Don't get
Tommy. Let me just say again. Tommy is main character. First of all, Tommy is hosting every event. Tommy is just always doing one thing or the other.
So that
if he's not winning one award, he's hosting something like yeah.
So it's been
definitely main character.
A complete change of me just not saying too much to now saying too much. To now saying too much, and I always want to, and I feel like you guys can, from the people that are listening, from the people that are watching, you can tell that, like I said before, it is my ick not to stand out. So it's been a conscious effort of mine that wherever I go, however I can do it, like I would try my best to stand out. I'll try my best to just speak so that, because if you don't speak,
to be heard,
they will quell your voice.
Exactly.
Like, you will just get buried in everyone. So that's the person that I'll say. I'm someone that tries to be better every single day. I'm someone that is very strong in his faith, and I'm someone that I just love people, right? And I love friendships, and I love when people have good hearts and are just genuinely kind, because that's who I want to emulate to be. So I'll say that all in all, my whole spiel is that I'm someone that tries to be better every day. I would say that I'm fun and I love a good time. I love good vibes and everything, but within the right context as well, right? But yeah, that's to me in a nutshell.
It's funny because like people
Pepsi Wale, Samuel, Peter, Daniel, Kingsley Coman, Tinubu. Who is Jay?
Do you know what's funny? A lot of people always they will always tell me that both of us are similar. Right, like, and there was, I don't know if I told you, but there was one time we were at one party and one girl walked up to me and I was like, oh, where's your brother?
Younger brother, I think you said that.
I was like,
where's the
younger brother? Which one are you talking about? She's like, oh yeah. Then she started explaining. I was like, oh, Tommy.
Yeah.
And then a couple of other situations where they're like, oh, you guys look alike and kind of act alike.
Yeah.
So I guess Tommy's just trying to be like me, but
fair play. I'll take that.
Because they say I'm his senior brother.
Follow no road.
Anyways, I think I've been a lot more outgoing. I'm more of an extrovert now, and well, I'm in between. Let me just say in between, because when I go to places that. Well, I think that's normal for everybody. When you go to places that you don't know,
you don't know people.
Yeah, you don't you have to like relax and gauge the situation first. So, I'm closer to an extrovert now, and I want to talk about my faith. I've been. I don't know, how do I say this? I'm just grateful for, for the grace to know who God is. Honestly, I've always been, from a Christian home. Sundays we're in church, Mondays, every day.
After this, I'm going to church, so it's not
literally, I'm just grateful that now I'm starting to like understand and know God for myself.
Yeah.
And it's not just they tell you, it just back then it used to be they just tell you things in church, like you're just like, oh, why? But like now I'm like understanding, and I'm just eager to be better. So like
I often wonder how people that don't know God, like how do you handle things? Why would they smoky go? Because it's like, how do you handle things? Like,
especially in a world where problem
no they finish. Problem no they finish.
You need something to hold on to, and
need someone.
I guess I can't speak for people honestly, but I mean and honestly I thank God for my background, because I mean I've always known that whatever the problem is, I'm running to God.
Exactly.
Whatever the problem is, I'm running to God. Whether I'm saved or not, I'm just running there. Because I mean, let him just have mercy on me. At least this problem, let me just escape this problem now.
God, if I can escape
this one, I'll not do it again. But that's pretty much about me. That's I feel like that's like summary.
Yeah.
But going forward, we'll still talk about other things that we kind of missed out on.
No, don't worry. If you're on this, I'll surprise you. If you're on this podcast, I'll surprise you. More to come. So, what can people expect from Let's Just Talk? What do you think?
Talking.
Yeah, funny guy, my life.
Guests.
Hold on.
We'll try to bring our friends on.
Yeah.
Have like conversations. What else? I don't want us to talk about all this political. It's too. It's not black and white.
Anything that would give me a headache, I'm not talking about.
Literally, I don't want us to go too much into relationships too, because you need a lot of context to.
Exactly.
And then also we'll be sorry to cut you off, but we're going to be sending out a form for dilemmas. We'll it'll be anonymous, so don't be scared. We're not going to be exposed. But just to read out people's problems, try to talk about it and see how we can help them.
Just add our 2 cents.
Yeah.
I can even help you like that.
Yeah, just add our 2 cents. Don't take advice from us. Don't take advice.
You don't just like friends that when they finish giving advice. But I don't know. Before you go misread.
Well, I don't know.
Before you go misread.
I don't know.
I think that's what we'll be doing at the end of every podcast.
And
after every episode.
I think we'll try to come up with like games that we could do, just segment into. And
honestly, chill vibes, chill conversations. More to come, a lot more to come in this.
Definitely.
So guys,
I'm excited though.
Let's just talk.
Let's just talk, guys. Come on.